Chairperson, it is very interesting how 22 years of our democratic governance has led to some honorable members and their constituencies developing incredible amnesia regarding the abject state our country and government were in when the African National Congress came into power in 1994. What is the mysterious sickness that has wiped out their memories? The amnesia that I have referred to has led these members to absolutely forget what the socio-economic conditions were like before, the chasm that existed before between black and white citizens of this country. Instead of them helping in uplifting the lives of poor, particularly black people, they invest their energy in distracting us from the task ahead of us. We will never move away from what we stand for, no matter what. Our vision is clear and our mission is focused. We need to remind these honorable members that African National Congress has a mission of changing the lives of our people, and we will not rest until that is done. Our commitment still stands, and we are the only organization that put people at the center. That is why, even in our selection of ward candidates, we don't impose candidates. We let the people nominate their own candidates. Honorable detractors, can you please line behind us? Because we are the leaders of the society and help moving South Africa forward. To South Africans out there, it is this movement that brought this democracy. It is us that opened the way to right of speech today. These people are abusing that platform for their own interest. Their main interest is to go back to the olden days of dictatorship when addressing the challenges of our country. The seminal manifest of the African National Congress in 1994, the Reconstruction and Development Program, articulated the service delivery challenges facing our country. I want to quote extensively from that document to illustrate the gravity of the situation that faced this country then. I quote, "Our history has been a bitter one, dominated by colonialism, racism, apartheid, sexism, and repressive labor practice. The result is that poverty and degradation exist side by side with modern cities and a developed mining, industrial, and commercial infrastructure. Our income distribution is racially distorted and ranks as one of the most unequal in the world. Women are still subjected to innumerable forms of discrimination and bias. Rural people and youth are marginalized. A combination of lavish wealth and abject poverty characterizes our society. The economy was built on systematical racial division in every sphere. Rural areas were divided into underdeveloped Bantustans and well-developed white-owned commercial farming areas. Towns and cities are divided into townships without basic infrastructure for blacks and well-resourced suburbs of white only. Segregation in education, health, welfare, transport, and employment left deep scars of inequality and economic inefficiency. Violence has a devastating effect on our society, and the need to restore peace and sense of community security is paramount." Close quote. Let me quote again from the very same document. In commerce and industry, very large conglomerates dominated by white control large parts of the economy, cheap labor policies and employment segregation have concentrated skills in white hands. Workers are poorly equipped for the rapid changes taking place in the world economy. The result is that in every sphere of our society, economic, social, legal, moral, cultural, and environmental, South Africans are confronted by serious problems. Close quote. This was just to remind you where we are coming from. We don't use anger in this government or in this country, but we use policies as this government that focus on people only. We had the right of being angry, but we knew it's not going to take us anywhere. Yes, the country was bankrupt, running at a balance of external debt of 20 billion USD. Therefore, before starting to address poverty, inequality, and joblessness, that beset black people, we had to pay external debt to international banks, multilateral institutions that had been complicit in funding the apartheid system. Sisuka apo. Let me remind you on the underdeveloped level experience of black people as illustrated by Household Survey in October 1995. The proportion of household in formal brick structures, white 99%, Indian 99%, colored 91%, blacks 61%. Electricity access, white 99%, Indian 99%, colored 99%, blacks 61%. Proportion that of households that access running taps or running water, it's hashtag white 99%, hashtag Indians 99%, hashtag coloreds 72%, hashtag blacks 32%. Access to sanitation, hashtag white 98%, hashtag Indians 96%, hashtag coloreds 64%, hashtag blacks 61%. And proportion of households with telephone connection, hashtag white 84%, hashtag Indians 74%, hashtag coloreds 37%, and hashtag blacks 13%. This picture above shows exactly what President Thabo Mbeki said in 1998 during a budget vote of the Office of the Deputy President at the time that said South Africa is a country of two nations, and I quote him. We therefore can boldly say South Africa is a country of two nations. One of these nations is white, relatively prosperous, regardless of gender or geographic dispersal. It has ready access to develop economy, physical education, communication, and other infrastructure. The second and larger nation of South Africa is black and poor, with the worst affecting being women in the rural areas, the black, rural in general, and the disabled. This nation lived under grossly underdeveloped economic, physical, educational, communication, and other infrastructure, close quote. President Mbeki was castigated by the media at the time of what he said. He was piercing the veil that had been put over all of us that we now are a rainbow nation. We are not going to stop talking about the past and let bygones be bygones and not visit the wrongs that have been visited by our people. We can't stop of what happened because we are still living and we are part of the past. There is still a lot of people, especially black, that needs to be addressed, and there should be freedom dividend that our people has realized in order to match and exceed the apartheid dividend that has accrued to the white people in this country. The state-owned companies have been put at the forefront of this eradication underdeveloped. State-owned company number one, Eskom, has ensured that electricity access is extended to our people, including those households that in a stone throw from the power station but could not access electricity because those people that were employed there, because of their color, of their skin, were not worthy of having their household connected. Eskom now is in good hands. I say so because last year there was a big cry when there was a load shedding. Everybody worried about the economy falling down. Now load shedding is a thing of the past. No one is shouting. I stood in this podium last year and I said load shedding is not a crisis, but a way of managing electricity. Nakala kwelqala. My head was almost chopped off because it was a black woman who knows nothing she was saying that told that today I can assure you South Africans, this government is hands-on in everything that affects the lives of our people. We are aware that there are people who are trying to destroy all our gains and our endeavors we are making for our people. We are also not surprised that these state-owned companies are attacked daily by the prophets of doom. It is because they are bringing change in the lives of our people and are redirecting the landscape of economy in our country and challenging the monopolistic arrangement of white minority capital. The Department of Public Enterprise had its fair challenge of the SOCs that were bloated and inefficient. This entity has been used to ensure that white folks were guaranteed a comfortable employment. Now that we are taking over and the black youth seem to be doing well, this doesn't augur well to those people who used to loot. The African National Congress had to make some difficult changes in repairing, damaging, and fixing these companies, sometimes stepping on the grounds that are known as the holy grounds. Chairperson, the state through DPE and its state-owned companies have delivered in the path towards uplifting the lives of our people, and so has many other SOCs that are tasked to do so. In order to paint the picture of the progress that has been achieved by the ANC-led government, I want to cite figures. Few figures. In 2015 survey, the Stats SA tells us 79.4 households live in brick structures nationally. The proportion of households with electricity access stands now at 86%. Eskom has electrified 4 million households since 1991. Siyaqhuba. Zange ke yenzeka le nakweliphina ilizwe. Kuba sikhokhelwa ngumbutho wabantu, umbutho okhathalayo, umbutho ongajonganga sini samntu, nambala. Siyaqhuba, asinamona. In conclusion, Chair, I want to quote the words of a wise man, President Rolihlahla Mandela, after the victory of the elections in 1994. I quote, "Tomorrow, the entire leadership of the ANC and I will be back at our desk. We are rolling out our sleeves to begin tackling the problems of our country is facing. We ask you all to join us. Go back to your jobs in the morning. Let's get South Africa working, for we must together and without delay begin to build a better life for all South Africans. This means creating jobs, building houses, providing education and bringing peace and security."
Thank you.
Siyaqhuba, asihlelanga, silandeleni.